So today, I'll introduce myself, I guess, for those of you who don't know me. Hello, Jason. My name is Brandon Elrich. For those of you who don't know me, I write a lot of satire and humor. I have a fiction and poetry publication, and I do a bunch of baking videos. I try to do like one a week at least. Um, and last week I made some cornbread waffles because I had this Jiffy corn muffin mix. I don't love cornbread, but I wanted to use it. It was given to me, and I was trying to think of something. If I made muffins out of it, that would be pretty predictable. I mean, it's the corn muffin mix, but I wanted to do something different with it. So I made some waffles. They turned out good. I ate a couple of them with some syrup, I think. Oh, peanut butter. Yeah, peanut butter and syrup is what I used. Hello, Beth. And hello, Eileen. Um, so anyway, today I have this German chocolate cake mix. And I don't normally, this is a recipe that my mom used to use. Actually, she still does use it. She makes these chocolate cake mix cookies. She uses devil's food cake mix. But I was given this German chocolate cake mix. Should be should be fine to use that. And I don't normally use cake mixes. I prefer to make things from scratch. I don't mind if other people use cake mixes or any other kind of mixes. But for me, I just think I know how to bake. I know how to do this. I shouldn't need the shortcuts. And so it just feels I don't know. It just feels less authentic for me. Like I said, if you want to use cake mixes, that's fine. So if you have one or want to get one, this is a very easy, very simple recipe. So again, we start with a cake mix. The recipe is usually a devil's food. This is German chocolate. I mean, chocolate cake mix, whatever. I don't really like German chocolate cake because it's traditionally used with coconut, made with coconut. And I am not a fan of coconut. I think it's more the texture for me. There's something about that, the soft yet crunchiness of the coconut, just kind of weird. It's kind of like onions, with cooked onions, like onion rings. They're kind of soft and yet crunchy. They're, I don't know, decide what are you one or the other? Are you crunchy or are you soft? I don't want both. Um, Let's see here. Looking modest today with the green t-shirt. Oh, yeah, I didn't really think about it. I just put the apron on. I had this on when I was on the live video with Wendy just a little while ago. So, you know, I just left it the way it was. So we start with the cake mix and 2 eggs. Oh, I forgot my bowl. Oh, where did my bowl go? Hmm, I had a scrap bowl somewhere around here. Well, I'll just get another one right now. I always save the. I don't throw away the eggshells. I use them in a compost pile, or sometimes I'll crush them up and put them in my plants. So 2 eggs, cake mix, and some oil. So the recipe is usually like half a cup of oil, but over the years, my mom has noticed I would never I wouldn't pay attention to this, but cake mixes have shrunk over the years. Like especially the last I don't know, last 10 or so. I mean it's been going on for a while, but if you look at the amounts in the cake mix, they used to be like I don't know, 18 point some ounces, and now some of them are down to like 15 or even maybe 13 point something. So that affects how many eggs and how much oil you put in it and everything. So this one, it's usually a half a cup of oil. I'm gonna go a little bit short just in case, just shy of half a cup. We'll see how that goes. And that's it. Well, I'm gonna add a couple other things, but for the mix itself, 2 eggs, about roundabout close to half a cup of oil. You don't want to mix it like you don't want to put the amounts it says on the cake mix box because cake mix batter is going to be more liquid. You're going to be able to pour it. For this, these are cookies, so we want the batter to be a little more firm. Want it to be firmer. And it looks like this is going to do well. All right. And if it's a little too wet, you could stick it in the fridge for a while and let it uh, firm up. Um, let's see. I have lots of comments. Goodness. Um, let's see. I sometimes use a mix if I know I'm baking for someone who has a sensitivity. Oh yeah, a lot of mixes are gluten free. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, if you're vegan or don't like eggs, I'm sure there are replacements. I've never used an egg replacement. Oh, Eileen says, I thought you weren't supposed to put eggshells in compost. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I've heard, well, yeah, maybe not to attract, for not to attract critters. I'm not really worried about that part, but, supposedly it adds some calcium to the soil and it's good for your plants. You know, I guess there are probably different opinions on that, but I also am going to put chocolate chips, and I'm altering this recipe a little bit because I have these mini marshmallows that I want to put with the cookies. So I'm not going to put as many chocolate chips in it. I'm going to put like half a cup of chocolate chips. Eh, maybe a few more than half cup. And the mini marshmallows. But if you're going to be using a metal pan, you might want to put down a sheet of parchment. And also, you could, like I'm going to do right now, I'm mixing the chocolate chips up into the batter. And then when I put them on I've got a baking stone, and it's usually not a problem with baking stones as far as the sticking and everything. But I'm going to try this out first to put the globs of cookie dough. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see that. It looks like I can back up here a little bit, try to fit everything in so you can kind of see it at the bottom. I'm going to put a few of these on here, and then I'm going to stick the marshmallows on top because if you just mix the marshmallows up in here and and put them on there, the marshmallows could, like on a metal pan especially, burn onto the metal, and it'd be kind of hard to just scrape them off. I don't think I'm going to have a problem with the stone, but just for the example to show you, I'll do it this way. Pretend this is a metal pan. So got the little marshmallows. I use these marshmallows for, I made some peanut butter s'mores bars a couple weeks ago, but I didn't use the entire package of marshmallows. So I'm hoping to use most, if not all of them, for this recipe. They're kind of sticking together, so may have to pull them apart as I put them in the batter. So to make sure they don't burn against the pan or the stone or whatever, I'm just going to stick them on top, and that'll eliminate that problem. The marshmallows are not a part of the original recipe, so this is my adaptation. But I figured chocolate and marshmallows go together very well. So we'll see how this goes. I've never made them this way before, but I like experimenting with things, because how do you learn anything without experimenting? Um, because everything, and no matter what recipe it was, it started off as just an idea, somebody just trying something out. So why can't I be the first one to try it? I'm putting about 4 of them in each cookie. All right, that looks good. Putting this in the oven. Uh, I preheated it to 350. The standard temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Alexa, set a timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes, starting now.
So they should take about 7 or 8 minutes. Of course, depends on your oven and altitude or whatever, you can adjust for that. Let's see here. Hello, Catherine. I'm not sure I know you, but thanks for coming in. You can also use applesauce instead of the oil. Yeah, I don't have any applesauce, but that might be good. I don't know, with apple and chocolate. Yeah, I think it would be all right. Um, I'm trying to pull apart the rest of these marshmallows. I'm just going to go ahead and mix them in instead of trying to put count them, separate them, count them out on the actual cookie. I'm just going to mix them in, and because I've got to do something while the cookies are baking, so might as well do this. Usually when I bake stuff on videos, I don't stick around until they're done because a lot of times it takes a while. But these cookies are only 7 minutes. Only take about 7 minutes or so. So I figured I can fill in the time reading the chat and throwing marshmallows in the batter. Probably not going to end up using all of these because there's still several marshmallows left. I don't use marshmallows a lot. I like s'mores, but other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I, they're just not my favorite. I never really liked marshmallows in cereal either, especially the marshmallows in cereal because they were so hard and I don't know, they just didn't taste right to me. I liked Cocoa Pebbles because that made chocolate milk when you were done, and then you would drink the chocolate milk out of the bowl. Let's see, marshmallows cooked over flame. Yeah, Julie, that's kind of what I was saying. I like marshmallows work best in a pan for bar cookies. Yeah, Catherine, that's what I was saying a little. I don't know if you were in here, but I a couple weeks ago I made some peanut butter s'mores bars, and they had peanut butter, marshmallow, and some crispy rolled wafers. And you could use graham crackers. I didn't have graham crackers, which is why I used the rolled wafers. Let's see here. That's how I met the machine. Oh, let's see. Marshmallows can be 0. Do you buy your applesauce at the Apple store? I have. I've never made applesauce actually, but I do have. There are apple trees on the property where I'm living, and last year I got quite a few. So I looked at a bunch of different recipes that required or called for apples. Made all kinds of different things with those. So I'm planning on doing that again this year. It looks like there are several apples on the tree. Some of the fruit trees didn't do very well this year. Like some people I've heard their peach trees didn't produce anything, which might have been due to uh, the early warming. We had like I don't know. There was a day I think in February this year that got a lot warmer than it normally would have, and it kind of caused some of the plants and flowers and things to start coming up earlier than they should have. And then, of course, it froze and killed them off. And I think that's what happened to my lilac bush. My lilacs didn't produce any flowers this year. I was very disappointed in that. And I think it's probably because of that. Now I'm hungry. 2 cameras setup was so special. Oh yeah, a lot of times I do the 2 camera system, but sometimes I don't feel like I need to. Like with this, I'm just stirring stuff up in this bowl, but there are a lot of times I'll have something cooking on the stove, and I'll put the second camera over there so you can see what's there while I'm doing something over here. But with this one, very simple recipe and not much to see. So, um, let's see here. Is that a cat cutout on your clock behind you? Yes, it is actually, Eileen. It is. Um, it's supposed to be. Well, I'll bring it down here. This this is so you can see it's supposed to be it looks like a black cat sticking its paw in a fishbowl. Isn't that cool? So fun. So a lot of stuff I have a lot of black and white stuff for my kitchen. I like a black and white kitchen. And black cats naturally make a good oh, Alexa, stop. Make a good Oh, I just realized that it stopped. That's so funny. Oh, there it goes again. I must have got it to stop. Anyway, you can see here I've got white curtains, and I don't know if you can tell, but those are cats all over the curtains. And I have some rugs that are like that, white with black cats on it. Because if you don't know me, well, if you have seen some of my videos before, you know that I have cats. One of them is black, and one of them is a calico. So, I love cats. I like decorating with cat stuff. Oh, hello, Onyx Rose. Black cats are medium best friends. Oh, medium. Right, right. A medium. It's a stuffed and mounted pet. Um, I'm missing some stuff, but that's all right. Kitties, please remove the curtains and bring closer. Remove the curtains and bring them closer. Well, I could bring the phone over there, I guess, and shit. Yeah, I could do that. I guess. Uh, so there are all these kind of odd looking cats with curly tails. They're like, there's a fat one there, and tall, skinny ones and whatnot. But anyway, I think it's pretty cute. So there you go. I didn't remove the curtains, but I compromised. I checked on the cookies. I think they still need a couple more minutes. Let me look at them again. Oh, my earpods coming loose. I don't want them to fall in the oven. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? I think it looks like they might be about done. Speaking of apples, a couple of apple pot holders here. Uh, all right. I can move this out of the way. Oh, I could just point the phone down a little bit, I think. If this will, oh yeah, we'll adjust it that way a little bit. So here are the cookies. And it looks like the marshmallows got a little toasted, have a little golden brown crust on the outside. That's how I like my marshmallows. Some people put them in, like when they're toasting marshmallows, they completely burn them and then blow it out. I do not like that because it gets the outside all crusted, but you don't have time to cook the inside, and it's not gooey. I like it. I like the whole thing gooey. So I take my time and hold it over the flame and turn it and make sure it's all golden brown all over the outside. But a lot of people I saw this on actually it was on Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show the other night. Kristen Stewart was on there, and for some reason they were talking about it was just kind of a random questions. He asked her, burnt black. Do you put like I said, you put it in the flame and let it burn and then blow the flame out, or do you take time to roll it around? And she was on my side. I don't normally like Kristen Stewart all that much as far as her acting. I don't think she's all that great. She's all right, but I would agree with her on this part that she turns it and makes sure it's all golden brown on the outside. So I like her a little more than I thought I did at first. All right, let's see. I think I have a cooling rack. It might be a little early to take them off this, but I'm not going to sit on this video all day. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. They might be a little gooey in the middle. So one of the reasons I like to use this recipe instead of making a cake out of the cake mix is if you're like me and you live alone or you live with just one other person or whatever, you make a cake. You're not going to eat that entire cake, like a whole 9 by 13 cake. I mean, I guess you could, but cookies are a lot easier because you can put some in the freezer and, um, have them later, and you can just eat a few of them at a time. So these are a little bit, I think once they cool, they're gonna harden up a little bit, but I may leave them in for the next batch in for a little bit longer. I don't mind cookies that are a little bit underdone, actually. I mean, I like to eat cookie dough, but oh yeah, this one's kind of falling apart. Mm, it's really good though. Yeah, see, that's kind of falling apart there. May have to leave it in for a minute longer. I did it for 7 minutes. Actually, I left it in for another minute after that. So may have to go with 9 minutes for this next batch. But a lot of times that's how my oven is. I do have to leave things in sometimes a little bit longer than what the recipe says. So I added the marshmallows to this next batch. Mixed them up in there. So we'll see how those go. But we don't have to stay on here for this next batch, really. I just wanted you to see them as they came out of the oven. So these are the chocolate cake mix cookies. And this one fell all apart. Still gonna eat it. See, aren't those cool? The golden brown marshmallows. Love it. Let's see. I like that. I learned to like that because I can't seem to get them just brown. Oh yeah, the burnt. It does take patience, and you kind of have to. I don't put mine directly into the flame either. I find a spot that's like just has the the burning coals and whatnot, or like a burning wood that's just red, and I hold it above that. But if you put it directly in the flame, a lot of times it'll catch. She is peak by energy. Yeah, yeah. Kristen Stewart is like my sister. Looks like forgot Jennifer. What's the surname? Lawrence. Oh yeah. I haven't learned to cook small yet. I have so much stuff in the freezer from making too much. Yeah, I had to learn to. Well, a lot of things can be frozen. I'll make like a big batch of soup and put it in bowls and put those in the freezer. And then after they're frozen, take them out of the bowls and put them in Ziploc bags and then store them in the freezer. So I've done that quite a bit. Bread freezes really nicely. If you buy a loaf of bread, I'll like take half of it and put it in the freezer. That freezes really well because it thaws really well. Take it back out. Doesn't take long for it to thaw out to be able to use it. So those are a couple things you can do, Julie. Bagels also. Like I'll buy a whole loaf of bread or a whole package of bagels, but I won't go through them until before the last one has started getting mold on it, or bread like halfway or over halfway through the loaf of bread will start getting mold. So immediately after I buy the bread or the bagels, I split it, put half of it in the freezer, and then I can have it later. Plus, I don't like to eat the same thing every day for so long, Even the bagels, I'll eat a couple days. So I'll have some in the freezer, and maybe a few weeks down the road, I'll feel like a bagel, get it out of the freezer. But it is still difficult to try to make recipes for just one or two people. It takes some adjustment. All right. Well, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, please subscribe to my publication. And I try to do these, like the baking videos, about once a week, at least. Sometimes I'll do more, but I've been trying to keep up with it this year. So I started this, I did my first one like a little over a year ago. Sometime last year, I did a baking video or two, but I didn't know it was going to be like a regular thing. And people liked it and they were subscribing because of the baking videos. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to lean into that and commit to doing more of them. So that's what I've been doing. Um, this one is very different from most of my recipes because it was a very simple recipe, but sometimes people want the simple ones. So there you go. I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll close out the video in just a second. Uh, Alexa, set a timer for 8 minutes.
8 minutes, starting now.
So I'll check to see. This isn't too bad, but it's still a little underdone in the middle. So we'll see how the next batch turns out. But thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. Oh, Julie says I have a couple of loaves of French bread I've been given. They're in the freezer too. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Um, I can't think of anything else that's going on. I'll have articles coming out next week, and I don't think I have any live videos scheduled except my regular one with Sturge on Tuesdays. But yeah, I need to get on that, scheduling people for to do live videos with me, because I plan on doing at least one every week, and I've just been slacking, been busy doing other things, writing and all that. So ah, it's a lot of work. So thanks for coming in. I'll see you all later. See you next time. Bye bye. Have a good weekend.